Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining me again here at 50 plus. I really appreciate you guys watching and listening. If you could, definitely do me a favor and like and subscribe, as well as hit the post notification button so you know when I've posted again. Have a pretty interesting topic today. You'll have to forgive me. I have Invisalign, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit unintelligible. But moving on with that, I wanted to talk about my journey so far and what I came across that basically got me in the mindset that I'm in now. And what is that mindset? Well, my diet only consists of meat, nuts, and fruits. I don't eat any plants, like stem, leaves, flowers, nothing like that. It might sound weird, but essentially, for example, if you eat broccoli, you're eating the stem and the flower of the broccoli. These are not good things, at least in my opinion. And I cut all of that type of stuff out. The only thing I eat at this point is chicken, beef, or fish. I do not eat pork. I eat eggs, and that's my meat. As far as the fruit, I eat avocado. Obviously, avocado is a fruit because it does have a seed. And I eat blueberries. I really don't like much else. I don't like strawberries very much. Sometimes I'll eat them, but I just don't care for strawberries. Yeah, pretty much that's it. And then I'll eat also a lime. I'll have lime juice on some of my like avocado or something like that. And as far as the nuts go, I eat hemp seed, which I guess it's a seed, not a nut. Oh, it's kind of sort of the same. But either way, I also eat pecans. These are the only two other things that I eat. Every now and then, I'll eat a purple potato, or like it's just basically a purple sweet potato. Very deep color. It's not the best thing, but sometimes I just like, I have to get a little bit of carbohydrates in there. And I would rather do that than some of the other stuff. I do also eat sprouted grain bread. To be specific, it's Ezekiel bread. Pretty good. It doesn't taste the best because it doesn't have a bunch of sugar in it, but it's very easy to eat. You notice a difference in the texture pretty much right away. So that's pretty much all I eat. Oh, also yogurt. I do eat yogurt. So that's it. Now, why did I get there? Well, about a month and a half ago, I was feeling pretty bad. I was looking at myself. I looked at a couple pictures of myself, and I didn't, and actually this also coincided with a pretty big life change. But I'm looking at some of my pictures, and I was like, man, who is this guy? For me, I was overweight. My face was it was fat. I was about, one of the pictures, or the picture I was looking at, I was 232. Now, my normal weight is usually around 200. And just to let you know, I was a model for 20 years. I've been in GQ. I've been to New York. I've done a lot in that field. Yeah. So I was, my face was all, I'll actually show one of my photos from when I was actually modeling, when I was younger. Obviously I am 51 now, but I I'm looking at myself and I was like, man, this is not me. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that now. Okay, so this is one of my photos from when I was actually modeling. This was, I think I was about 27, I believe, at the time. It was in, no, actually I was 26. This was taken in 97. So I was 26 at the time. And, yeah, so as you can see, this face is definitely not fat. I have, I have very angular features. So for myself, anytime my face gets fat, it looks absolutely terrible. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, man, this is not me. Even at my current age, it was just not gonna work for me. So I started on this particular journey. I changed my diet to what I just explained, and I can tell you the first 3 weeks I lost about 15 pounds. Now a month and a half out, I've lost about 20 around 25 pounds. I think I'm around 207 now, 205, 207. What I was weighing myself on wasn't giving me a super accurate reading. So it's around 25 pounds that I've lost in a month and a half. And it definitely changed my outlook. Okay. Now, what I came across was, as you can see here, it says eating plants is harmful. I fully believe this. And again, these are just my opinions. I do also want to say, before I get into this, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give any type of advice on what you should eat or what you should do with your health at all. I'm just going to explain what it is that I did for me that changed my life for the better. And, and I'm feeling great because of it. So, as it mentions here, plants contain a lot of things that are really actually toxic to us. Okay, gluten, lectins, oxalates, phytates, tannins, cyanide, and this is throughout. Like, there isn't one plant that you can eat that's the actual plant or leaf or whatever that has anything that's really going to be super beneficial. There are a lot of plants that they call superfoods and all that. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that's true, because they all contain these toxins these things that are toxic to us, and also these so-called nutrients aren't in the form that is easily or readily available for us to absorb. Okay. Now this particular article goes on with a lot of stuff, so I'm going to read some of this, right, and just go over a couple things, just to give you an idea of where I am and why I feel the way I do. Okay, so it says here, plants are toxic. This is a fact. Yes, absolute. It is an absolute fact. Every plant you eat is toxic. It's just a matter of how many, or the level, or the quantity that these particular plants might have. So it might be very, very low, very low dose, right? It's basically plant pesticide. Plants create their own pesticides to discourage animals and bugs from eating it, right? So anyway, it says it's only been our human ingenuity figuring out how to process plants that have allowed us to mitigate their toxins sufficiently to eat them. Just a few examples are: wheat is indigestible uncooked or unsprouted. Absolutely true. The lectins in beans and legumes can be deadly if left uncooked. Cassava or tapioca contains deadly levels of cyanide, also cyanide unless specially prepared. This is the same thing for rice. Rice, especially white rice, has quite a lot of cyanide in it. I actually learned a lot of this stuff from Dr. Sebi, and I don't fully get on board with what he's talking about either, because he does promote a lot of eating of plants, and he really tries to discourage people from eating meat. I am definitely not that. He just has this idea that he had this idea that there are electric foods, and I don't buy into that at all. Potatoes have toxic solanine that needs to be cooked to inactivate. Acorns and olives need to be extensively soaked to remove tannins. Cashews contain urushiol, which will cause severe chemical burns unless deactivated by cooking. Unripe and uncooked ackee fruit, I'm not sure what that is, toxicity is endemic. And it gives kind of a little a couple graphs here, the difference between the non-edible animals and the edible plants, vice versa. So the majority of plants are absolutely inedible for us, okay? And when you kind of look at it, what is the point in going after plants that you have to highly process to be able to eat them safely, when it's so much easier just to eat an animal that actually has the ability to extract the nutrients needed from plants? I mean, and then our bodies, being that we are absolute carnivores, and I'll be honest with you, my opinion on it is that we are strict carnivores. Strict. We should be strict carnivores. We should not eat really any plants at all. Now, me personally, I do eat the fruits simply because it adds variety. Because eating meat does get a bit difficult to deal with on a day in and day out basis. So I add the nuts and the fruit and all that just to add a little variety. We can get some nutrients from, say blueberries and things like that, but it does not outweigh the benefits of fruits and blueberries or whatever it might be. Don't outweigh eating meat, because our bodies are specifically set up to extract the nutrients from the fat and the flesh of animals. A lot of people just get triggered on that, but that's just the truth. All vegans have to take protein supplements. They cannot get protein or enough from eating beans and all that. Beans are toxic to us. Even if you cook beans and you eat beans all the time, it's going to make you sick. I've tried it. I've tried being a vegan. It just made me sick. It gave me really bad stomach problems. And it caused me to, made me gassy and all that stuff. It wasn't good for me. And then on top of that, I broke my ankle within 2 weeks of starting that whole vegan thing. I'm not saying that was the cause of it, but it was definitely a catalyst that made me say, this is not for me. Now, it goes on, right? And this person has definitely done his homework. He goes on to say, I could keep the list going forever, but so many plants must be cooked or specially prepared to be eaten. Many plants even contain substances that block nutrients from being absorbed. These are called anti-nutrients. And some examples are phytates, present in grains and beans, blocks zinc absorption. Zinc is extremely important. It's extremely important. Lectins, high in legumes and grains, blocks mineral absorption. We need minerals. Oxalates, present in green leafy vegetables and nuts. And there we go. Again, nuts. Blocks calcium and iron. And it's why almond milk is not only bad for you, but dairy is 2,000 times more ethical than almond milk. Now, I didn't go into why he is saying that, but you know, I can't say that I disagree. Goitrogens, present in brassicas like broccoli, block thyroid, and it blocks thyroid hormones. That's not good. Tannins, found in tea, chocolate, and wine, blocks iron absorption. Polyphenols, found in brightly colored plants, blocks iron absorption. So actually you can read all this stuff. You can find all this stuff yourself. You can look up the polyphenols, tannins, and all these different things, and just educate yourself on it. Never take the word of anybody necessarily. I mean, again, I'm just sharing my own research and my experience. So again, do your own research. But I can tell you this: once I changed my diet, I saw huge changes in my body. The number one thing that I noticed is that inflammation went away. And I was having severe problems with my elbows, and also a couple places where I have ingrown hairs, right? And I wasn't able to get them taken care of or pulled out or whatever. And those, especially the ingrown hairs, like there you can really feel I could really feel the inflammation. After being on this diet for a while, those things, like, it went away. And then on top of that, they weren't sensitive. It was at a point where, like, it was so bad on these spots that it was like it was continuously creating a scab. It just would not go away, and swollen, and all of that. But again, once I started this, that went away. Another thing on my elbows, it used to be so bad. It was like tennis elbow. It was so bad that I couldn't lift heavy weight. Like if I was doing a bench or anything like that, I couldn't do anything. Like if I tried to do 225 or say, 100-pound dumbbells, oh my God, it would hurt so bad that I could only get a few reps and I'd have to stop. But now I still have some issues, because I've been having this situation with my elbows for years, right? I mean, it really kind of happened in the military. So when I was about 31 is when it really got, it got to the point where everything I did, I had to be very careful, because I mean, I would literally drop something. If I grabbed it the right way, I'd drop it out of my hands. Now that doesn't happen as often, but what I notice is that it does coincide with what I'm eating. For example, before I realized about the inflammation that comes along with eating plants and leaves and whatnot, I had a box or this kind of a small tub of spring salad. So I was incorporating that into my meals. I would put the blueberries and nuts and everything on there and eat it. Well, it took me about 2 or 3 days to finish it off because I was eating it like 2, 3 times a day for those days. And what I noticed, like right after that, I saw the inflammation coming back. I saw the ingrown hair situation come back up again. Just in other things. One of the benefits also that eating the spring salad, it kind of blocked it was when I first started the diet, or after being on the diet about a week, I noticed that in the mornings I was having my wood more often, and then after the first week I was having it like throughout the night. It was like my body was detoxing, and this stress just was removed from my body, and everything started to work again, right? It was like I mean, seriously, I felt like I was, in high school again, when just about anything, just a single thought would cause me an issue. Seriously, it was just absolutely amazing. And I mean, this is no joke. I don't know if it would be the same thing for anybody else, but this is what my experience was. But after I ate that spring salad, man, it really kind of blocked that. All right, so another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that, I've never taken any gear or any androstenedione or whatever that's, the steroid stuff. I've never taken any of that stuff, right? So I was speaking to a friend of mine at the gym the other day. He did it when he was younger. Now he's like, I think he's like 45. And now he has to have testosterone replacement. He has to take it because of taking that stuff. And I want to say, if you're a young guy and you're listening to this, don't take that stuff. It will come back to bite you. It'll cause your body to shut down testosterone production. There may be a way to get it going again, but I haven't heard of anybody saying how that can be done. So the best thing to do, just don't take it. Me personally, I have no issues. I don't have to take testosterone replacement and anything like that. I do take a booster, testosterone booster here and there. I take this stuff called Beanox, and also I take, every now and then I'll take Tongkat Ali, which, and honestly, I've noticed that it makes me, taking the Tongkat Ali actually makes me feel bad. So I've really stopped taking that. It is a leaf as well. It's a ground up leaf. So, yeah, I mean, I can't say it is the greatest thing. It's definitely made me feel bad. So I cut that out. Pretty much the only thing I do, I have my protein powder, which is carnivore based. It's actually called Carnivore. That's the brand. And then I do the Beanox. That's really it. I used to take a bunch of other supplements and all that. I really cut everything out because they were making me feel bad. It was like I was just feeling like I was dragging all the time. And before, I didn't feel like that, right? It's like with all the other stuff that my body was dealing with, I didn't feel the effects of this other stuff. So anyway, I'm just giving you guys my experiences with this. Being 50, 51, actually I'll soon be 52. I want to encourage you guys who are older, who are really over 40, because it seems like we've kind of been tossed to the side, like we don't really matter. We've been, and I'm going to make kind of a series of, well, I don't know about a series, but some of the other videos I'm going to make here are going to address some other issues that are kind of going on in the world, really. Guys, we're not we're not done. We're 50 in 40s, 50s. Honestly, in my opinion, after experiencing this, I believe we should not be seeing a drop or a significant drop in testosterone until we're really later in age, maybe late 60s, 70s, because it's the food that's doing this. It's what we're eating that's causing us to have all these problems. I looked up why it's suspected that men die earlier than women. Well, it's because they were saying in this particular article, it was saying because men eat more of the bad things that cause issues. And to be honest with you, men should outlive women. And you might ask, why do I say that? Because we don't have to deal with childbirth. Women giving birth to children takes a lot out of them. And definitely if they have given birth to multiple children, it really causes them to, it can cause them to have more issues later on in life. It definitely doesn't add years to their lives, right? If you look at anything biblical, usually the men outlive the wives, and also the men were always 40 plus before they got married, and they married very young women. Now, I'm going to get into what I think about that as well. But suffice it to say, we should not be having the issues that we're having. We should not be having heart problems and all this. It's because of what we're being encouraged to eat. A meat-based diet and cutting out the greens, cutting out those things that are definitely toxic to us, will absolutely change your life. It changed mine. Okay. I'll say that. If you want to try it, if you want to consider that way of life, because I look at it as a lifestyle, it might be beneficial to you. It might be worth trying if you're interested in that. Because look, when I see ABC News, which I don't trust them at all, telling me that a plant-based diet is so eating a plant-based diet will not only help humans but Earth too. This is absolute BS. I don't go in for any of this crap, to be honest with you. I think there's something behind this, and it ain't good for us. All right. This is another article that I am starting to look into. I'm actually going to read this, but I got to be honest with you guys. For me, doing this absolutely changed my life. Without a doubt, hands down. It might help you as well. So, with everything, if you feel you need to check with your doctor or anything like that, you might want to do so. There's a lot of other stuff that I would love to kind of go into, but, to be honest with you, with the way things are kind of metered here on YouTube and these other platforms, it's hard to really get a good message, a good truthful message out, because they will censor it. That's just the truth. Now, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. Again, I'm telling you my experience. Do your own research and do your own experimentation. Okay, it's your life. Do what you want. But me, I'm definitely not falling in for this crap again. My life has absolutely, I've done a 180. So that's all I have for you today. I hope this was at least somewhat informative or entertaining or whatever it might be. or maybe it encourages you to look into it yourself, especially if you're 50, especially if you're over 50 or 50 and over. It's not over. Your life is not over. Exercise, the proper diet will, or rather could be, your key to a higher quality life. So again, hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below what you think. If you disagree, that's absolutely fine with me. This is a Discord. It's meant to kind of help people get to the right place for them. That's my only goal. So, all right, guys, again, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and come back. I will be putting out more videos here very soon. 50 plus. I'm also going to be going into like relationship stuff. And the way things were years ago compared to how things are today. And I do plan on doing some reacting to some of the relationship podcasts and just giving my opinion on what people are saying and the way they're viewing everything. I'm going to tell you, I have a starkly different view on the way things should be compared to what other people are saying. So be ready to look me up and be ready to see those types of videos, because they are coming. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.